Hello friends, my name is Shilpa Kakkar. I am from M.B.Patel English Medium Secondary and Higher Secondary School. In the previous session of the economic impact of company rule, we had discussed about the economic condition of India, how it collapsed, the traditional economy deteriorated, how the life of the artisans and craftsmen were ruined by the British. Now, in this chapter, we are going to study about the life of the artisans and craftsmen and the farmers. We'll learn about the different revenue policies of British and its effect on Indian economy. So, let us move further and see what the chapter and the topics consist of. Till the middle of 18th century, Indian handicraft products were in great demand in the markets all over the world. One of the writers, Calvert, wrote that Indians were better than Western countries because of their sharp intellect, information, and creativity. Industrial revolution in Western countries brought many changes in the trading. Western countries did not have big ships to carry heavy loads, but they owned big ships for business purposes then. In artisans and craft-based industry, cloth industry was most important. Weaving of cotton, silk, and woven clothes was the main industry of India then. Cloth made in India had a large market in England, some parts of Europe, China, Japan, some countries of South Asia, Arabia, Iran, and some parts of Africa. Bengal, Lucknow, Ahmedabad were the main centers of cotton weaving industries. Silk based industries was also very famous. The other industries based on handicraft like silk of Dhaka, mattresses of Lahore, shawls of Kashmir, jewelry designs on gold and silver, design on marbles, sandalwood, and glass also existed on large scale in India. Different places were famous for different things. For example, Ahmedabad was famous for its cotton dhoti and dupatta. Nagpur, Murshidabad, Malda, and other villages were famous for silk cloth. Kashmir, Punjab, and western Rajasthan were known for woolen clothes. Like this, different industries were flourishing at that time. Other than this, ship making business of India was better than that of England. In the other field, like metal industries, there was great development. In the field of metal industries, there were industries to make goods from copper, brass, aluminium. There were different centers where these metal industries were set up. All these showed that India had very much developed economy in the ancient time. After gaining power, Britishers demolished the craft based industries in Bengal and other parts of India. The British government ruined Indian craft based industries to develop industries in England. They implemented various inappropriate practices. They behaved cruelly with weavers and artisans. They supplied cloth manufactured in the factories of England to each and every corner of India. So, the country which provided cloth to Europe and rest of the world now became a customer of British goods. The material made in India was exported to foreign countries and gold from other countries was imported to India. But now the situation was changed and foreign goods were imported into India and gold was exported. Artisans became unemployed after the ruin of craft based industries. Now, agriculture was very costly. The age old economic system of village was broken. This is how they have ruined the traditional system of economy in India. Revenue policy of Britishers and its effects. After gaining power in various parts of India, the Britishers found various ways as per the social situation and local situation to collect land revenue. In different parts of the country, there were three types of systems that were implemented. The British administration tried out various land revenues experiments to this aim. In 1772, the governor of Bengal, Warren Hastings, introduced a system of revenue farming in the province of Bengal. In this system, the European district collectors would farm out the right to collect revenue to the highest bidder. This system was totally a failure and it ruined the cultivators because of the arbitrarily high revenue demands. Three revenue policies were adopted by British: permanent settlement system, Ryotwari system and Mahalwari system. Now let us see what was the permanent settlement system about. In permanent settlement system, three things they had kept in mind. Cornwallis was the governor at that time, and he introduced the system of permanent settlement in 1997 in Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. The main characteristics of permanent settlement were zamindars, who earlier had the right to collect revenue, were established as the proprietors or the owners of the land. Second, zamindars collected land revenue. They deposited a tenth part from 11 parts and kept one part as their salary. The state's demand for land revenue was permanently fixed and they were given the ownership of land under their sector. The zamindars faced many difficulties from the beginning. During the time of drought or lack of rain, if the zamindars were unable to pay the full tax on time, their lands were taken away and auctioned by the state. Initially, they faced many problems, but later on, when the time passed, they started buying lands. Zamindars had never taken interest in the development of the farmers. As a result of that, farmers also revolted. Bengal, once known for its prosperity of grains and wealth, became ruined, and the state and the rate of starvation, illness, and death increased. Second revenue policy was Ryotwari system. Ryotwari system was started by reformer Thomas Munro. Later on, it was introduced in the Bombay Residency by Elphinstone. In the beginning, it was introduced in some parts of the states of Bombay, Assam, and Madras. According to it, the farmer who was cultivating the land was made the owner of the land on the condition of paying taxes for it. The Britishers had given rights to girasdars and farmers to pay taxes directly to the states. There are three characteristics again like permanent settlement in Ryotwari also. By this system, farmer got the ownership rights but did not get any benefits. Reasons for these were very high taxes on the land. The government had the right to increase the tax amount anytime. And the worst was it that in situations like drought or lack of rain or flood, farmers had to pay a fixed tax to the government. The government had taken away the ownership of grazing land and unused land. Tax on the land was also increased by the government. Third one was Mahalwari settlement. The Mahalwari settlement was an impoverished format of zamindari settlement. In the north and northwest of India, the Mahalwari settlement was followed. The state made settlements either with the village community or in some cases with the talukdars. Each such fixed unit was called Mahal and a tax was fixed for them. For the villagers, there were various tax systems. This system was implemented with landlords and zamindar communities. Later on, zamindars and the Britishers brought drastic changes in the old land policy. As a result of this, the autonomy and the continuity of villages were ruined. The aim behind all these systems, permanent settlement system, Ryotwari system, Mahalwari settlement, only their aim was to increase income by collecting tax. During 1858 and 59, 50% of the total income of government came by tax only. Different ways were there of collecting tax became very painful. Farmers were punished and those who failed to pay taxes were sentenced. Judiciary was also corrupt. The farmers had no hope to get proper justice. and that is why they suffered a lot during the British rule. Students, in this session, we learned that how British rule ruined the life of artisans and craftsmen. Not only that, they have ruined the farmers, agricultural policies, agricultural system by imposing different types of revenue policies for their benefit. The effect of these revenue policy were very bad and devastating. It brought stagnation to Indian agriculture during the British rule. And due to that, there was lack of good crop that creates the scene of drought and starvation. The prosperity and the future of India only depended on agriculture. But due to these policies, there was imbalance. So, from this session, we have learnt the ruining revenue policy of the British. We will continue the rest of the topics in the next session. Thank you.